The sun beat down on the shimmering deck of the Aura Lux, a vessel of pure opulence where even the floors were marble. Captain Richard, a man whose calm demeanor was forged in the icy waters of the Arctic, guided the yacht through the calm seas. He was on the final leg of his career, trading treacherous solo voyages for the more predictable luxury of private tours. Today's charter was an anniversary celebration for a wealthy couple, Ethan and Laura. Ethan, a man whose arrogance was as vast as the ocean, treated conversation as a gift he rarely bestowed. Laura, meanwhile, was engrossed in a private wine tasting, a bespoke experience to mark a decade of marriage. The gentle rocking of the yacht and the serene surroundings painted a picture of perfect tranquility. But that perfection was about to be shattered. The captain's voice, firm and urgent, suddenly cut through the calm. "All guests, please make your way to your cabins and lock the doors." The festive atmosphere evaporated, replaced by a chilling wave of confusion and fear. What could possibly warrant such an alarming command? Then, they appeared. 3 speedboats on the horizon, racing towards the yacht with unsettling speed. The distant hum of their engines grew into a menacing roar, a sound that promised violence. What had been a peaceful afternoon had just become a terrifying ordeal. Captain Richard's worst fears were confirmed. These were not sightseers, they were armed pirates, their intentions as clear as the weapons they brandished. The crew, initially startled, snapped into action with practiced efficiency. Amid the rising panic, Captain Richard's calm was a beacon of authority. His mind raced, calculating the odds and formulating a plan. Every decision made in the next few moments could be the difference between life and death. He barked orders, initiating evasive maneuvers in a desperate attempt to outrun the approaching threat. For a moment, it seemed to work. A sliver of hope emerged as the yacht pulled away from its pursuers. But that hope was extinguished as a 4th boat, larger and faster, appeared, ramming into the side of the Aura Lux with a bone-jarring crash. The impact sent a shudder through the entire vessel. The pirates, armed with AK-47s, swarmed onto the deck with grim determination. Their leader, Air, a man whose imposing figure and ruthless reputation preceded him, scanned the opulent with greedy eyes. He was a formidable adversary, his disorganization masked by a brutal efficiency. As his men began to loot the yacht, Air's deep mistrust of his own crew was palpable. While his men were focused on valuables, he was searching for something more. Meanwhile, Ethan had retreated to the control room, his eyes glued to the surveillance monitors, oblivious to the true extent of the danger. He watched as Captain Richard, seeing a flicker of opportunity in the pirates' disorganized search, began to formulate a counterattack. With quiet urgency, Richard assembled a small team of his most trusted crew members. He knew he had to confront Air directly, to create a diversion that would give his team the time they needed. Approaching the pirate leader, the captain's calm demeanor was a stark contrast to the chaos surrounding them. He offered to show Air the yacht's most valuable cargo, a lure the pirate leader couldn't resist. Intrigued, Air followed him to a nondescript cargo area, a carefully chosen stage for the captain's final act. But as Air's attention was focused on a crate of expensive jewelry, a hidden alarm suddenly blared through the yacht, its flashing lights and piercing siren creating a fresh wave of panic. Realizing he'd been tricked, Air rushed back to the control room, leaving his men exposed. It was in that moment of chaos that the true ADM-owning revelation came to light. This wasn't just a random attack. It was an inside job. A saboteur among the crew had been secretly compromising the yacht's systems, aiding the pirates from within. The discovery sent a fresh wave of shock through the already terrified passengers and crew. While his team subdued the remaining pirates, Captain Richard, with Ethan's help, reviewed the surveillance footage. Their investigation led them to a crew member, who was quickly apprehended. With the pirates and the traitor secured, a tense quiet fell over the Aura Lux. The immediate danger had passed, but the psychological scars of the ordeal remained. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the now-calm sea, The welcome sight of a Coast Guard cutter appeared on the horizon. Relief washed over the exhausted passengers and crew. When the officers boarded, they were met with cheers and gratitude. Captain Richard, his duty done, handed over control, the immense weight of command finally lifting from his shoulders. Ethan, humbled and deeply grateful, embraced Laura. His perception of the crew and their quiet captain forever changed. The anniversary celebration had turned into a terrifying ordeal, but it had also been a moment of profound growth. Standing on the deck, watching the pirates being led away, Ethan and Laura knew they would never forget the courage they had witnessed. For Captain Richard, the hero of the hour, the thoughts of a quiet life and his children waiting at home were the only reward he needed. His well-honed instincts had not just been a product of experience, they had been a lifeline in a moment of extreme peril. As the Oralux, now a symbol of resilience, gently swayed on the open sea, a sense of peace finally returned. Arg, Iskale Voyages. Despite the luxury surrounding him, he remained grounded, finding satisfaction in the simple pleasures of his craft and the serene sea. Captain Richard, unwavering in his commitment, spared no effort in perfecting every detail of the special day. Driven by his deep dedication to his guests' enjoyment and safety, the couple's request for a celebratory voyage to Italy was handled with precision and care. Ethan, the husband, exuded arrogance with his dismissive remarks, making even casual conversation feel like a rare privilege. The yacht's crew, well trained in handling his disdain, moved with practiced efficiency, unaffected by his airs. Laura, Ethan's wife, delighted in an exclusive wine-tasting class, marking their 10th anniversary with a bespoke experience that deepened her love for fine wines. Ethan was enjoying a perfect afternoon. The yacht's gentle, rocking, and serene surroundings created a tranquil scene. Everything seemed ideal until the captain's voice cut through the comm. "All guests, please make your way to your cabins and lock the doors. But before we start, smash the like button and make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and hit that notification bell so that you won't miss any new stories." The crowd was stunned by the sudden, shocking announcement. In an instant, the peaceful atmosphere turned to confusion and anxiety. What could have prompted the captain to make such an urgent call? Just then, 3 boats appeared on the horizon, racing to a yacht at an unsettling speed. The distant hum of their engines grew louder, sending a wave of tension through the air as they approached with alarming urgency. Their rapid approach shattered the calm and disrupted the peaceful atmosphere. What at first seemed like casual sightseers quickly turned into a troubling threat. Captain Richard, a seasoned sailor renowned for his calm demeanor, took charge. Immediately, Richard's worst fears were confirmed in that chilling moment. These were not ordinary speedboats. They were manned by armed pirates, their menacing presence turning what had been a serene voyage into an immediate threat. The crew, initially caught off guard, quickly sprang into action. They rushed through corridors and up stairwells with urgency, working together to handle the threat. Amid the chaos, Captain Richard's calm presence became a stabilizing force. His experience and training shone through as he guided the crew and passengers with authority. Meanwhile, the staff moved with urgency and purpose. The experience pushed to the limit as they worked to address the escalating threat. The crew and passengers, their faces marked by fear, moved frantically as the captain's mind raced with the seriousness of the situation. Each corner Captain Richard turned brought him closer to the command center, where he hoped to devise a strategy to regain control. His mind was a storm of concern for everyone on board as the dangerous confrontation loomed larger, threatening to engulf them all. Understanding Grincy, Captain Richard knew that every decision he made in the next few minutes could determine their fate. Without hesitation, he barked orders to the crew, initiating evasive maneuvers to steer the yacht away from the approaching threat. For a brief moment, it seemed as if the yacht was successfully distancing itself from the boats. Hope flickered as they maneuvered skillfully, trying to outwit the pirates. But that fleeting hope was abruptly shattered when another boat appeared on the horizon. The new boats peered toward them with terrifying speed, slicing through the waves. and producing a deep, throbbing engine noise that grew louder by the second. It barreled directly at the yacht, and with a bone-jarring crash, it slammed into the side of the yacht, causing the yacht to shudder violently from stem to stern. Captain Richard remained steadfast, his heroic nature shining through as he saw pirates leaping from their boat, brandishing grappling hooks and ropes. His resolve never wavered. He was determined to protect his crew and yacht against the imminent threat. Their presence was threatening, and their intent was unmistakable. They were here to seize control of the yacht. He quickly sprang into action, knowing the next moments were critical. He turned sharply, signaling urgently to the crew and issuing an emergency announcement over the yacht's intercom system.